Kenya J.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't mind us, I guess, going more into detail about who you are, because we didn't really go into detail during the first interview. And it seems that a lot of people ended up finding out exactly who you were when I mentioned you eating clay dirt and you described your pica disorder. So it seems like you do have a fairly decent following. And some of them were quite surprised to know that it was actually you. How did you feel
Yes.
about that? Them finding out exactly who you were.
I feel I know that they're gonna stand behind me, whatever the situation is, because I know how much love they have for me. I really, I really wasn't uncomfortable with them finding out.
Okay. Have any of your fans reached out you have done since the interview has been released? It was released 3 days ago, and you described in detail your encounter with R. Kelly, you giving him oral sex at his, he was demanding and offered you $3,000 prior to that, but you did not know that you had to perform oral sex in order to get $3,000 to help you with your situation because you are homeless, living in a hotel. You lost your home in a fire a few weeks ago here in Atlanta, Georgia, and you never thought that you would, find yourself in that situation. So, have any of your fans reached out? Has any of your family members
Mm,
reached out? If so,
No
what were their
one,
thoughts?
no one reached out to me.
Nobody has reached out to you.
Nobody.
Have any of your family members heard the interview?
No.
Okay. 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 Now, how do you feel about all of this being released?
Well, I feel good now. I feel good because I think people should know, and know what type of person that R. Kelly really is. And I hope if he have done that to any other women, that they would come forward with their story also, and don't be scared.
Okay. Okay. Now, since we did the interview, because we did the interview last week, and I think there has, what went from you contacting me to tell me just a story about your encounter with R. Kelly and how disgusting that story was. And like I said, my heart goes out to you.
Thank you.
There's been some changes, there's been some
Yes.
developments, and I want you to share with me what has happened since we've done that interview.
Okay, what has happened was I had started my body had started changing. I started feeling sick, and my mouth had started like getting sore, and a rash and stuff was in it, and it was sometimes hard for me to swallow. And I went to the hospital, and they told me that I had chlamydia, a disease that he
Wow.
had given me from having oral sex on him.
Wow. I'm sorry to hear that as well. I mean, I kind of got
Um,
an idea of it the other day when you called me, but I know you said you had to have some more tests run
yes.
on you, so I wasn't sure, what was the outcome of everything. So this is the first time that I'm hearing of like the complete outcome. So when did you start? I mean, okay, so you had this encounter with R. Kelly on what day was it? August
The
27th,
seven.
okay, of
Yes.
2017. How long after you had this encounter did you start to experience, symptoms? You were
About
being sick, yeah,
a day or so.
a day or so.
Yes.
Okay. And were they like flu-like symptoms, or was it just like, you just weren't?
It's like sick. It's had me sick, nauseated, um, fever, chill. Yeah, you could say flu-like symptoms.
Okay. Do you think, now this is a hard question that I'm going to ask, and I don't know if you described in detail to the medical professionals that were running tests on you, do you think that that smell, because you said it wasn't like a regular sweat smell, like when he was playing
No,
basketball, do you think that
no, it wasn't.
that odor that he had contributed?
It
I just want to
could
say,
have played a role.
do you think it was the STD? Do you think the odor that he had came from him having an STD?
Yes, I think yes, yes, yes. I think it was. But at the time, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know.
Okay. Have you ever? I mean, you don't have to answer this question if you want. Have you ever had any STDs before?
No,
Okay. Okay. Now, have you been tested for HIV, herpes
yes,
since you've been since diagnosed with chlamydia? Have you been given more extensive tests?
yes.
And do you have those results? Do you want to share those results?
I don't have the one for the herpes yet because they told me to come back in 2 weeks. But I don't have HIV, and I still have the chlamydia.
Okay, right now. Even though,
Yes, right now.
how long did they say it was going to take to clear up?
She she didn't tell me exactly. They didn't give me a time frame, but she told me just to come back in 2 weeks, and she's gonna recheck me again.
Okay. Well, I'm looking at the date. I mean, it's only been like maybe a week and a half or so, give or
Yes,
take. But it's kind of hard. I would imagine it's kind of hard to really get rid of like an STD in the mouth because, chlamydia is
yes,
bacteria, and so when you have bacteria going in, so it kind of just stimulates the growth. So
yes,
I can see that
yes.
taking a long time to clear up. Even though I'm not a medical professional, I'm just using, just kind of some logic
Right,
here. Have
exactly.
have you filed like a police report or anything?
Yes,
You have?
yes.
Okay. And tell me about that process. When did you file it and what was said when you did file it?
I filed it about a week ago, and I do have a detective that is working on it, and we're trying to get some charges brought on him.
Have they discussed what type of charges will be brought out of this situation?
So I think they're gonna try to charge him for giving me the disease, but they're really waiting till my other results get back before they can go further into any more details.
Okay, so they want to make sure they have all their bases covered before they.
Yes,
Wow. Wow. So you are really not playing.
no, I'm not, because you don't do nobody like that. Not telling them no.
Yeah, I mean, if you have something, you need to say it. I mean, he took away your power of choice.
Right,
Now you made the decision to do that, but at the same time, it's like if you don't tell me that you're sick, just because I agree to do anything with you doesn't give you the right to infect me
exactly,
with something because that's not what we discussed. That's not, had you would have told me, it probably would have been a different conversation. So I think people like that who intentionally give people STDs need to be jailed because,
exactly,
especially if you don't say anything.
exactly.
And so I'm with you all the way on that.
Thank
And
you, thank
how have you been coping?
you. It's been kind of hard. It's been hard. I'm not gonna lie. It's been hard.
Have you heard from his team or anybody since the interview has been released?
No, I haven't heard from his team, but I think that he has people um, watching and going back and telling him things because that's how he operates.
What do you mean by that?
I think he
Explain
got
that.
like some trolls.
Okay. Like internet
So,
trolls.
yes, yes, yes,
Okay. And so you think they've reported what has
yeah,
happened and what they know about you to him.
yes,
Now,
yes.
have you had any encounters like with trolls? I mean, have you experienced anything? I guess have you had any problems with your living situation?
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Explain
yes.
that.
I think he had got me. I had to move from the hotel that I was at, even though I hadn't paid them. But I think he had something to do with me having to move because I think, like I said, his team or whoever he had, the trolls working for him, they called and told the ladies at the front desk something because I could tell the way that they was looking at each other and they was talking about me. I could just feel it. And I think that he paid them off to have me removed from them.
Okay, you're kind of okay. So you're saying that ever since this interview has been released, and you basically just spilled every disgusting detail, exposing how fucking perverted he is. It
Yes.
has gotten back to him, and since then you've had to remove yourself from the hotel that you were staying at into another hotel.
Yes, because I also heard that he has some kind of contract with the certain type of hotel, them the ones that he goes to and stays at.
No, the Homewood Suites.
Yeah, he has
Okay.
contracts with them.
Okay. Now, I did get some information on that. Someone sent me an email stating that I believe they used to work for him. And yes, he did have some sort of contract with the Marriott. Was it the Marriott? Is it the Marriott?
It's the no, it's the Homewood Inn Suites by Hilton. It's the Hilton.
Okay, so I'm not putting the Marriott out there. I'm putting the Homewood Inn Suites. Okay, so and
Yeah.
I know a lot of people after the interview released, they were wondering why R. Kelly would stay. Because when I asked about like how were you able to afford the same hotel R. Kelly was staying in, you had a lot of viewers that viewed the video and they asked why would R. Kelly be staying in such I guess a regular hotel, and so now that explains it. So he does have a
Right.
contract with the Homewood Suites, and so he stays at the Homewood Suites whenever he travels.
Yes.
And so,
Yes.
and that makes sense. I mean, I know people with business accounts with the W hotels and things like that. So this is not uncommon information. And so
Right.
you've had to move from that hotel into another hotel.
Yes, I did.
Did they refund you your money?
Yes, they did.
Okay. And so you were able to take that money and go get a new room. What was their reason? What was the hotel's reasoning for making you transfer rooms? I mean, transfer out of the hotel. Did they give you any sort of
You
reason?
know what? Really wasn't a reason. They told me that the hurricane, the evacuees from Florida was coming, and I just had to leave.
That doesn't make any sense. If your room is paid for, why would they tell you that the evacuees from Florida is coming and that you had to leave?
That's why I know it's some bull crap because, like I was telling you about the two workers that was up there that was talking about me. I kind of figured this was coming because of the way they started treating me after you put that interview up.
Okay.
And I think they might be subscribed to your channel also. I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'm sorry that you're going through that. I mean,
It's fine.
I really am. If anyone viewing this video is truly interested in helping Miss Kenya J and her sons to relocate from the hotel into another home, we've taken the initiative to create a GoFundMe link for those of you all who are interested in donating. The link is below this video in both the description box and in the comments. And if you have any questions about this GoFundMe, please don't hesitate to send me an email at unwinewithtashak@gmail.com. Thank you, and stay tuned for part 3.